Hi, folks. Mean Gene Okerlund here, and I got to tell you about the BROcast. This is something. They have got news like you would not believe. As a matter of fact, it's like my old hotline. I used to tell all of the great stories about Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah and some of the kind of funky things that we did. Can't talk about it here, but you'll hear about it on the BROcast. Check it out. Fantastic.
BROcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to False Finish. We're back. Week 2. Stronger than ever. I am one half of the co-host, Topher McCann. Joining me,
BROcast in the second chair.
Oh yeah, Mr. Dom Mallon, Dommy Dreamer.
What's up, everybody? And we'd also like to welcome back to life. Can't believe I'm seeing before my very eyes he might still be a ghost, but we reported last week, falsely, the finish or demise of local BROcast legend.
Gone but not forgotten.
But he's back. Either he or his ghost, I don't know. Somebody's here taking this third guest VIP chair in the studio. Mr. Shane Dock.
Yo, I'm breaking kayfabe. I thought, I've been hearing Spirit, and I thought, I've been listening to you guys, been watching from above, and I thought maybe it's time for a comeback. So I thought I'd visit today.
Welcome back, man. So good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Back in the saddle.
The handsome men are all actually in the same building right now.
That's true.
I'm ready for a hot tag.
Once again, pulling back the curtain a little bit, my roommate, the co-host of Notes on Notes, is asleep upstairs.
Is he sleeping?
I don't know. He's always
probably
asleep.
He's waiting for a hot tag.
So we're back. False Finish. Week 2. A lot of stuff going on. In general with this coronavirus still. It's taken over the entire world, entertainment. But wrestling, still going strong. You know what?
AEW is really kicking ass, guys, isn't it?
Right.
I've watched WWE the past week. They haven't had any fans in their arena. Like, they've really lost it that bad to AEW. So,
here we
unreal.
Go.
Way to go, Jericho. Way to go. All elite.
Where do we start? I guess real quick, I want to mention, go subscribe to the False Finish YouTube channel, which we got going over there. We have the episodes are going to be posted there, as well as we're going to start putting some content up there. I watched the 2014 Men's Royal Rumble, and apparently I looked a little tired in it. So we'll see what's going on. So I feel like the shtick for the second watch along will be, I'll definitely be having some shades on. So I'm going to steal a little off a PFT commenter.
All jokes aside, you do these things at like 3:30 in the morning.
It was pretty late.
You're a night owl. Yeah.
You are an insomniac.
Yeah, you are.
It was entertaining. It was fun. I had a good time with it. So go check out the watch along. Watch it with me. We had fun.
We'll follow up with the tutorial that Toph's going to do on how to keep your hair so shiny and perfect. As you can see in the watch along, it's just flowing.
Beautiful wrestling.
It looked bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Nah, I'm not even kidding, dude.
I was gonna wear a hat. I had a Sixers beanie next to me, and I was debating.
You gotta let the hair flow.
Let it out.
Let it rage. I know Krista doesn't like it, but
give the people what they want.
Who has the more important say here? Your radio host, co-host, or your wife and spouse and life partner?
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Yeah. But any hooser, we also do want to give a quick shout out and the whole thoughts and prayers to El Jefe, Mr. Cass. He's over bodyslam.net. He's on the men now. So that's why we've had a little bit of delay with getting this content posted to Body Slam. But
this could be our date, or it could be like a month from now. Maybe the website's not working. Maybe it's
website's working. I mean, he's got his whole team on him, but
it's infected.
I don't want to bother anybody else. And Cass is going through a lot right now. So El Jefe, get well soon, buddy. We'll be plugging out for you until then. But
prayers, good thoughts.
Hopefully, we'll get you on the show in person soon.
Yeah, it's hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, he vanished for a while.
At least he's got a lot of wrestling to look forward to coming up. We do 2 nights worth of WrestleMania. We got all the go home shows that Hopefully they'll be, more impactful this year than they have been in the past few years. But
Wait, did you say WrestleMania is happening?
yeah,
Oh my God, what is this?
at this point it might have already happened, half of it, because we're
It's
filming
done.
I saw. I go on one of those, pages on social media where they comment on things and stuff. And one guy actually wrote, "This might be worse than WrestleMania 11," and I totally feel that.
Was 11? Which one was 11?
11 was the one in Connecticut. The main event was Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, right. But
To me, that's the worst WrestleMania.
But wasn't the under main event for that like a really good match?
Yeah, Shawn Michaels and Diesel for the world title. It was a good match.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, this is should they have pushed it back? Should they have waited to June, July?
Nah. What do you think, Toph?
I get the storytelling process, but everything's on hold. I just don't think it'll be it's just going to be underwhelming. I'm interested. It's something different.
It's different. I mean, it has to be different because of what's going on.
But as of right now, like Roman's out. Like to promote a chamber match months ago with Roman was supposed to be in it. I remember Rude was supposed to be in it, and then the winner of that gets a title shot. Scratch that. Roman just comes out and says, "Hey, I'm gonna have a title match. I'm next or whatever." And they have all this, and now it's just. There's too many like roadblocks coming up. You got the reports of the Miz coming and being sick. So there's another title match that was involved that's gonna get.
You know what this feels like to me? Like without everything that's going on already, you know what this WrestleMania feels like? It feels like a super showdown. It feels like a bunch of matches. They just said, "All right, we're gonna have you against him, her against her, and we're just gonna have a show."
And just weird stipulations.
Right, like
Boneyard match, Firefly Funhouse
There's no
match.
feel to it. There's no build up. There's no excitement. I'm sorry. Are you actually excited
Last man
for
standing.
anything? I mean, Edge
here's-
coming back, sure, but
Here's where I'll come in and be the devil's advocate because, I really am. What are you going to do otherwise? You're just going to put a bunch of random stuff, random, pre-done content from the like archives on during this time? You got to strike while the iron is hot. Vince McMahon is a billionaire because he takes those, those risky chances and comes out on top time after time. And what nobody else is watching. There's nothing else for anybody to watch right now. You're gonna watch anybody who's even a halfway in wrestling fan is gonna watch WrestleMania, regardless of what the roster.
they are
the
because of
card
what it is. Right?
Yeah, just because because it's WrestleMania. But even if it's the worst WrestleMania of all time, it's still better than anything else that's going to be on Sunday night.
But then let me ask this:
Saturday night too. It's too big for just one night.
So to what you just said, is it WrestleMania though? Because it's just on that date?
Yeah, but you can't blame
You know what I mean?
WWE for that.
Oh, not at all.
You can't blame
the only
anybody
thing I'm
for this.
blaming on them. The only thing I'm blaming them for is, I mean, honestly, we differ on this. I don't think they should have it. I think it's going to be a flop.
I think because of this whole thing going on, it's kind of but this whole thing with Reigns and stuff, like pulling himself out of it, that makes WWE look really
right?
bad.
Yeah.
The doctors, everything.
Right. Public
I think
image.
it looks terrible. Like a very high risk person, and you're gonna let them they should have hopped in and been like, Roman, you have a history of you could be, but he had to remove himself. Like
CM Punk could really have a field day with this one when it comes to the doctors.
But didn't that, and this is all me just hearing from rumor, I don't know if this is true or not, but didn't that all spark from The Miz showing up to one of the tapings sick?
just recently, yeah.
So that's not even on WWE. That's on The Miz taking it on himself to show up sick in that situation.
He's in the wrong as well. But
Miz, right? He's
But if that didn't happen, who knows if Roman would have pulled out? Because it's not.
so many jokes
It's not
I
like he
could've
just
just
showed. It's not like he just showed up today. And was like, oh, you know what? I'm immunocompromised. I need to worry about this.
right. They just pop into his head.
Yeah.
I just feel like he shouldn't have been involved in anything.
Anything? Yeah.
Coming up face
everything
to face
going
with
on?
Goldberg and stuff. Like, what's the point? There's no point in it.
But I really am looking forward to the upside or the rare benefit of not having that live audience because they're going to be able to use so much more camera work, cinematography, and make it, much more produced, which, you lose that live feel and it doesn't feel like WrestleMania, but it could feel like something they've never really done before.
And it's funny because we just had this conversation earlier where I said, wow, you don't realize how integral of a part the crowd is until you see what's going on the past 2 weeks. Like I can't watch Raw. I can't watch SmackDown. I can't watch NXT. I can't watch AEW. It's not the same. I can't watch it. I feel like I'm watching a bunch of guys in a wrestling school just having a match, practicing their skills. I can't do it.
It's fair enough. I mean, that's big part of it for you, I guess.
It would still be weird, but I know someone brought this up. Would you think if they pumped crowd noise into a telecast, would that change it for you?
Don't they do it already?
Touche. But if they did that, like that,
I don't know. I mean, maybe they should experiment one night. Well, why not? Right? They have the time. They have
a catalog of shows with just audio as crowd noise.
Pick your B show.
But I don't know if that would entice. I don't know
viewers?
or it would be awkward because you see that that's why I think they're really trying to do so many gimmick matches, because they want to try to avoid almost being in the ring from a lot of these matches.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
a fucking boneyard match. Like, let's go. Can they not say buried alive?
I don't know.
Maybe not, actually, now that you think about it.
I am curious how they're going to do it.
Because everything going on, like, you think?
Oh, so they're really trying to hold off, I think.
Buried
Certain
alive,
phrases?
literally people are dying.
Jeez, I didn't think about that.
That's a good point.
That's interesting.
I'm looking forward to that match, man.
Dude, I feel like he's going to come back in that.
Not going to lie, Styles' promo against him was really good.
Yeah.
Where he talked about how he should have just stopped at 34.
Yeah.
It's like he called him out, man.
Is he going to biker it? It seems like all signs are pointing towards.
I feel like it's a new image. I don't think it's a biker. I don't think it's
like a blend.
Yeah, it's like all
a dead
together.
man
It's like
biker?
it's just Taker. Like,
Do you think he's going to come out in like old school purple gloves, maybe?
is he gonna wear the mask because of Corona? Remember the fucking? Oh, sorry,
Short lived.
Edit. Remember the the mask when his face got crushed?
Yeah. Forgot
His
about that.
wife at the time probably loved that. I'm gonna sit on your face.
It's so funny. I can't help but look at his neck every time he's on and see the
Look
cover
for
of Sarah.
where's Sarah? Where's it
tattoo.
at?
But no, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the Bray and Cena match because of the fact that it's going to be more than just a match, you know.
I'm glad he made a. I mean, this is kind of going off topic, but not off topic. But I'm glad he made a comeback, Bray, because for a while he was up, then he was down, then he was up again, then he was irrelevant again. But now he's relevant again. Like they just got to keep him. He's a character. He's amazing. He's an awesome wrestler. From where he started to who he is now, they got to keep building him up. He is their future, and he's the only one. Let me say this. I was saying this the other day because I was watching WrestleMania 31 where he faced the Undertaker. He's the only one with legitimate character, like at the whole roster. Like he's got an image, he's got a gimmick, he lives it, he does it.
You ever get the feeling that his character is so pushing the envelope that it's almost like I don't want to say they want to keep him they kind of want to keep him contained. And like, all right, he's getting too close to what he wants to be, which is
they don't want him to hit the ceiling.
Yeah, it's going to be like, if we let him really take the gloves off, then we're going to have to answer to a whole lot of different interest groups and things like that, and the sponsors.
Yeah, I mean they are, they're a corporate company. They got a lot of sponsorship and public image they have to worry about. But you know what, man? Going back to WrestleMania 32 where he came out, that crowd popped, man, because they wanted to see Bray Wyatt take down a legend already. And when he told The Rock, he was like, I chose you. Like, oh, dude, it was just such.
Yeah, at the same time, though, it was ridiculous that he wasn't on that card.
Yes, right, exactly. Where he should have been.
That's the thing. Like, I hate, it was like a bitter thing. Like, you were probably like one of the big moments of that show, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, isn't that guy on the card?
Right.
Why the fuck did Cena beat him at Mania? There's so many.
I agree with that.
And again, like, with all this going on, they had a chance to redeem themselves with Goldberg beating with fucking The Fiend. With this happening to Roman, you need someone like you could have done a storyline where like the winner of that match gets a title shot night 2 of Mania, or do it with another match like Rollins. Dom brought that up you brought up the winner of like Owens and Rollins at Mania ends up getting a title shot against Goldberg, and
that's
KO.
a prediction that I was thinking of. And even if KO loses, cutting some kind of promo, but they've already announced that's
but I like that you're using a storyline that happened 2 years ago and bring it around. Like they're doing with the Cena and Fiend match. Like the latest Firefly Funhouse, he mentioned that he's talking to the Lantern Head saying that you failed, what, like, was it 30? Was it 30? Was it 5? He's like 6 years ago.
30 lost to Cena, 31 he lost to Taker.
So he's like, you failed. So it's like they bring it up. I don't know. I'm still bitter about it. I can't get over the fact that they put the title on him and just took it off, and you have to make excuses for it. Like, oh, he lost to Goldberg because he didn't have a history with him, so it's okay.
All right, so not to hop all over the place, but
go.
If you don't mind me taking a couple minutes, I actually was thinking about this today, and it's kind of difficult for me to actually talk about this, but I'm going to say it. I'm not happy. Like, you guys know me. I'm nostalgic. I love when the guys we grew up with come back and wrestle and have their moments. I love nostalgic moments. I love returns. But I'm going to be honest. I do not like that Goldberg is the champion right now. You can't have a guy come back and do 3 moves throughout a 7-minute match and let him be the world champion.
He can't even do the one move.
Right. He can't even do a jackhammer anymore.
The way the Feed lost was the stupidest thing ever. He
agree.
lost to just
Totally agree.
a fucking... What was that?
I know.
And then he barely pinned him, and he started lifting his leg when it was 2.5. Fuck that guy, dude. I'm sorry. It's
I like
so
Goldberg.
Stupid.
Don't get me wrong, but it's.
I hate it. I hated it. It's so stupid.
I mean, when he had a couple good matches in WCW. They were short, yeah, but he did a few things.
He had to get tasered
that was
to
stupid.
lose.
Oh,
Fuck
that was
that.
horrible. And then even when he was in WWE in 2003 or 4, he had
I'm calm.
He had a couple decent matches, and if you let him go, he can be all right sometimes. But now, it's just enough's enough, man. Paul Heyman's buddies with him. That's awesome, but you got to let your buddy stay home.
When they first brought him back in, what would that have been? 20? It was like
Against
around
Lesnar?
Survivor Series. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been Survivor Series 2016?
16.
It was that dream match
And
from the
then-
video game.
Or was
I
it
think
17?
Well, I think he beat Lesnar for the title
Survivor
in
Series?
Survivor Series 2016, and then it was WrestleMania 33 in Florida, which would have been 2017 when they swapped it back. And that when he first came back, those first couple of weeks were great.
Yeah.
The first time you saw the entrance again, which was always cool.
That promo he cut. Old school.
My favorite part of all of it were the signs in the stands with the South Park member berries, and you would just see them. It would say, "Member Goldberg." Awesome, but no, I agree. I mean, I think the shine is off at this point with the returns and
Who wanted to see, they hyped the match up, Roman and Goldberg, like we fucking wanted, just because they have the same move. It's like,
Right.
dude, I'd rather see Roman fucking Edge.
Yeah.
Spear versus
I
spear.
think
like,
that was strategic because they knew that
he would get,
everybody would want to see the title get off of Goldberg, so there would be
Like hand down to the spear
it would
guy.
be like-
you got my move now.
but then you just start Roman. So like every time you put the title on Roman, you just start on on such a stale note, it seems like, and there's no going. Like, it's just, I don't know, except that the only time he was really over was when he won it in Philly.
Loud pop.
yeah.
Yeah.
When he beat Triple H, like, it was just on before we recorded. We were watching. He's like sitting there smiling. It's just like, it doesn't seem like it wasn't a WrestleMania moment.
Right.
It just was like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shane and I were there in Dallas, and
Booed out of
all
the
three of
building.
us were there when he won it in Philly, right? You guys were both there, right?
dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were within months of each other. Oh, and we were all there, or at least I was there for the Rumble that he won.
I was there at the Rumble, and he got
and he got booed out of the arena. Yeah.
massacred.
The thing with that is, I think people just wanted to see a title change on a Raw.
And that's what made, yeah.
You
It
know
was, and they built it. They told a great story with it. That whole thing with him and Sheamus that was good, dude. Did Sheamus cash in on him with the confetti?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff they did in like that 2015 with like Sheamus and Reigns was great. But I'm telling you, when he Superman punched Vince McMahon and fucking turned that crowd in Philly 1 year, it was 1 year.
1 year, right. He
Because
got them.
January he's booed, in December he's there and he wins the title.
But in all fairness to him, you could not, back at the Rumble 2015, 14?
Yeah. I think it was the Rumble.
14 he should have won, 15 he won.
Yes,
Yeah,
15,
yeah.
right. Right. 14 was in Pittsburgh, he should have won.
With Batista.
15 was us, right.
He was so over.
Are you saying Batista or Bautista?
Batista.
You're
saying
Dude, he
Batista?
was so fucking over.
He was. He was over in 14.
Because I watched that because we watched it at your house and that's what started getting me back into it, I was saying.
And then 15, there's no way you could have had him get any type of pop or any type of cheer when you had Daniel Bryan in that Royal Rumble, and everybody just wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble. And because of what happened that night is when Daniel Bryan got into WrestleMania.
They booed Rey Mysterio 30.
Oh, no, wait. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it was the year before. Daniel Bryan Mania.
Yeah.
30
it was 30. Because it was,
No, that was-
they wanted him to win in 14, too.
Right.
14's the year that Punk came out first.
And Batista won
And
14.
Batista came out like Daniel Bryan wasn't even in it. They thought it was Rey Mysterio, I think, came out and everyone booed.
Yeah,
because they thought Daniel,
right. He was like, going to be 30, right?
Because Daniel Bryan wrestled like
He
He came out early. He was in the match.
Lesnar.
No, you're right. He wasn't in the match.
Lesnar wrestled Big Show at the Rumble. Daniel Bryan wrestled Bray Wyatt
Yeah.
and beat Bray Wyatt. That was when they did that storyline. So he beat Bray Wyatt. Oh, God, talking about Pete and Bray Wyatt.
God, that crowd, I say that crowd like we weren't part of it, but like it was so hot that night. And I remember thinking they thought for sure that everybody was going to pop to see Mysterio. And I was still happy to see him, but not that happy.
Then they were chanting Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
And then they were like, bring out The Rock. This Philly crowd will eat it up.
Yeah.
And then we booed The Rock.
Yeah.
That face he made.
was not going to
The Rock didn't.
When
he wasn't gonna help him.
When he had his hand up and he went like that, and then you see his eyebrow go up,
like
it's
questioning, like, what the
like,
hell?
wait, what the fuck is going on?
Why did I come back? Yeah, but hopefully SummerSlam can be the biggest show of the year then, because that's what it's going to be. You think? I mean, if all this stuff's done by June, July, SummerSlam's got to be the big show.
Yeah, I'm still looking
If they
forward
allow
to it,
people
though.
together.
Still looking forward to having the whole weekend to base around it, just doing work and watching WrestleMania. And
I like how it's going to be 2 nights. It's going to be 2 nights of at least watching it. It's going to be long.
That's the thing.
Long.
Like 15 matches. I'm sorry, man. It's just WrestleMania used to be, 8 to 10 matches, and you had 3 or 4 that were really eye popping that you wanted to watch. Now it's like, oh, I'm going to, get some popcorn and watch Otis versus Dolph.
It's going to be 15 hours of content at least. 2
man,
nights
you guys
combined.
are haters.
I am this year, man.
I'm not hating. I just
I am.
shoo-in.
You are a shoo-in for
Sign
hater of
me
the
in.
year right now. You're
I am
complaining about
negative Nancy, negative Ned.
You are at home during a health crisis where you can't go outside, and you're sitting here complaining about the fact that they're giving you more content than they used to. And we sat here years ago complaining on this show about how all of the matches anymore at WrestleMania are geared towards getting everybody on the card as possible, and nobody gets the chance to shine and actually have an artistic match like they used to back when we were kids, because everything's a fatal 4-way or an 8-man ladder match. Well, now you're going to get Dolph Ziggler and Otis in a one-on-one match, and they might say, hey, you know what? Go take 30 minutes. And they might be able to put on a sweet classic, and it might be able to put some shine on Otis and push him even further. And what, you're going to sit here and complain about that?
Yes. Sorry.
All right, fair enough.
I have to be that
Fair
guy.
enough.
Right to the point.
There's probably like people out there listening, like, yeah, all right. But then there's also people out there on your side. And I don't know.
Hey, that's a good radio show.
Right. That's good.
But what about this past week? Did you get into any of the shows, Raw, SmackDown, NXT? You said you haven't been watching
I haven't been watching it. So that's you too. Go ahead, fellas.
Dude, just to disagree with you one more time, as if I haven't enough times already, one of the beautiful things about the empty arenas is it's just the small little things that I feel like especially AEW has been able to capitalize on and just take advantage of. We had mentioned last week how we loved how they filled the first row with the wrestlers and they were gambling.
I did see that. That was neat. I did see that.
Gave
That was
people
funny.
a chance to have 2 hours of just cutting basically small off the side promos on everybody in the ring. And this week, something they were able to do was have Vanguard in and be able to have Jericho cut a live promo on Vanguard. That might be.
You showed me that clip. That was hilarious.
Oh my God.
That was awesome.
Guys, we obviously have to play it.
Yeah, so here, let's just cut it in. We'll play it because it's the greatest 2 minutes
Get
in
it in here.
a long time.
When he's coming in. All right, here we go. Let's get this going.
Matt Hardy.
You hear that? You hear that?
I see that.
There he is.
Yes.
And it's not Matt Hardy.
Ominous humming.
It is our West Coast correspondent. It is
All right.
Vanguard.
West Coast correspondent.
First name Van, last name Guard. So there he is.
Is he talking?
Vanguard 1. I'm glad you showed up, Guard.
Guard.
Because I got a couple things I want to tell you. First of all, I don't like you. I've never liked you. I don't like what you stand for. I don't like your beliefs. I think you're arrogant. I don't appreciate your political views on social media. You're a piece of shit, Vanguard.
He's cutting a promo on a drone.
Yeah, you heard me.
I think
You're a piece
Chris
of trash.
has lost it.
And even though I don't like you, well, I respect you. And that's why I'm asking you
No way.
to join the inner circle.
Okay,
No
we
way.
Think about it, Vanguard.
Right now,
All
it's getting
the
a hard
power will
cut
lie
of
in
the
the
Vanguard's
propellers.
face.
Your propellers will be spinning.
He wants
With all
everybody.
the money you're gonna make, we'll be pouring bubbly right down your gas tank. All those Instagram drone models will be flocking around wherever you go. You'll be smoking the finest of mechanical cigars. Come on, Vanguard. For old time's sake.
You were
What do you
witnessing
say?
this. Chris Jericho's asking
Join the inner
a drone, Vanguard.
Huh?
I think that's a no.
What do you say, man? No, fly this way. Hey,
Vanguard turning the other cheek.
you come back here, Vanguard.
Turning his back
You
on.
come back here, you son of a bitch.
Come on,
You're
Chris.
gonna regret this.
No means no. He said
tell
no.
Matt
It
Hardy.
said no.
You tell.
Enter the majestic
Yes.
one.
So, I mean, it doesn't get much better than Chris Jericho cutting a promo on Vanguard 1. He also was on Twitter
On a
cutting
drone.
he was cutting a promo on his Roomba, I think the next day or two I saw. So if he just goes on the shtick of cutting promos on like electrical equipment, I'm for
All
it.
for it.
All about it.
Is there any argument that he's like at least the GOAT of the last 10 years?
Jericho, yeah, definitely.
Like you can't argue anybody
He's
else.
been
right?
involved in most of memorable just everything he does is still I mean I feel like not stop praising Jericho. He's so good.
But as it should, man.
He creates magic at his age still.
He puts
knows how to
everything
create
he
it.
does goes over the list. Festival of Friendship, the everything. Mitch the plant, a pot of plant.
And I'm biased. I think Jericho's like the King Midas of wrestling. Anything he touches just turns to gold. But
I agree with that.
even if I'm trying to put my bias aside, the best 2-minute content that I saw in wrestling the past week was Jericho standing alone in a ring, cutting a promo on a drone. I watched that thing like 8 times since Wednesday,
Yeah.
and I'm still laughing.
Dude, I still just go all the way back to him debuting, which I still think is one of the greatest moments in wrestling ever.
AEW?
No.
Oh, you mean the
Y2J countdown.
Oh,
It was,
okay.
Totally.
I've still, I mean,
Yeah.
every single time I watch that, it's the greatest thing ever. And then it just the debut itself, but then just him and The Rock together and that banner, that promo between them two after the debut is so, I love it. Like,
Yeah.
and that was when you didn't know things were going to happen and stuff.
Right.
Like it was such
Internet wasn't big.
When
Right.
it said Jericho on that Titantron.
Place
before
went
he-
nuts.
That is
Place
so good.
went nuts.
I remember for months leading up to it, just loving the countdown and being so excited.
And you're like,
for
what
it.
is it? What is it? Like,
And I remember when I did the math, like, wait a minute, this doesn't lead up to New Year's.
but he did, man. You know what? And he solidified his spot. He did that himself because when he came from WCW to WWE, he was like a cruiserweight
Yeah.
TV title type wrestler. And then all of a sudden he just earned his
But
way.
dude, we're
up.
like, personally, like, dude, we're here. Like, I was 12 years old when that shit was like when he debuted, and we're sitting here, and I'm in my 30s, and I'm talking about how fucking amazing he is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's wild. I want to introduce a weekly award that we're going to be giving out from here on out. I call it the Pow Award. You heard it right, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Pow Award. It's an acronym. We're big on acronyms here at False Finish. It's going to stand for the PPPOW. We're calling it the Power Push Player of the Week. That's right. That's right. It's as
the
fun
theme.
to say as it is to hand out and bestow the honor upon one. And basically, the extent of what the award is we'd like to take a few minutes to acknowledge somebody who might not be on top of the roster, somebody who's a big time, part of the roster, maybe a mid-carder or somebody who's lower level. But with that small amount of time that they got, that small amount of airtime and that very minute minute that they had to shine, they made the most of it. And this week, I mean, look, if you can give it to anybody, I would give it to Jericho every week because he makes the most of all of his time. But my Pow award is going to go to Kofi Kingston this week because I loved it when they came out on SmackDown last night for their tag team match with the New Day. And this man is still throwing pancakes into an empty arena.
That's
I was dying. They're another one, man. Everything they do is just funny. They can say the same thing as anybody else is saying, but their delivery and just their knowledge of how to get it across to a wrestling audience is just beautiful.
I was just saying that a few minutes ago to you guys. I can't believe they're still together. I can't believe that WWE hasn't broken them up yet. When was the last time you saw a faction together like this
Yeah, you're right.
for this long? I mean,
Well, they call them the new Freebird.
It's
basically.
gonna-
it had to be. Yeah, I mean,
they
can you break them up?
they'll inevitably do it.
Can you?
They don't want to.
As long as they're making money.
And they've said for a long time, like, not even that they would prefer not to, like, they've been adamant, like, do not break us up. As long as we're making money and we're still one of the high
Don't you-
earners, like, why would you?
They're kind of like, just like, is it pigeonholed, I guess? Like, they're just always, just seem like they're always,
Drop toe hold.
like floating above what, like it's just always just like New Day versus Usos.
They're there. You're just saying they're
It's
there?
just the same, like they're tag team champions or not. They're tag team champions or not. Like the Kofi thing was cool. They did, but besides that Kofi run, it's always just the same thing.
So you're saying they're the opposite of Jericho. They're not really changing?
Reinventing?
Is that what you're saying?
It's like, for the most, yeah, exactly. It's like a lazy reinventing where it's like, and I like the New Day, but it's just like, we'll throw cereal. All right, we'll throw pink. It's the same thing. Like, it's still like I said, just treading water, like almost. Pigeonholed it.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Now let me ask you this. What should they do? What do they need to do?
I don't think anyone gets no one goes up the ladder more unless they break up and then break it and bring it into a bigger storyline.
You might get mad at me, but I feel like if they did break up, Xavier Woods would get fired in a few months.
Dude, I feel like he's one of the biggest assets to
In the
entire
group. But if the group breaks up,
He's more valuable than his wrestling character on Raw and SmackDown, though, because they have so much content that they can use from him on the network. And
so do they just turn him into like a role player instead of let him wrestle?
Man, I honestly think they just let the New Day ride.
But nothing against Xavier, but I feel like Big E deserves that Kofi push that Kofi got. Xavier doesn't. He's a great he's great for the company. I think he's funny.
You don't
He's
say
great
he's a world
content.
champion?
But I don't want to say that because like I love him, he'd be great, but I just feel like he doesn't. I don't know. Big E
Have
for
it?
some reason just seemed like what's Xavier's, what's his finisher?
You can't see
Like his move set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't see them getting behind Xavier as the champion, but you can see them getting behind Big E as the champion.
I can see
Yeah,
they're big.
because
I mean,
they
look
were
when Big E
before.
debuted.
Right.
I mean, when he came over,
And he's so fucking like I think he. I don't know.
he's got character. He's got
Now that
charisma.
he's been in that group for so long, he has
Yeah.
know
It
that
built
he
him
has
up.
character.
Right.
But from before when they just did the whole him and Ziggler and
Yeah, there was nothing.
you didn't really know anything. But now you know, like, no, this dude's got character. He's hilarious. He can be on his own.
But I don't think they need to pull a swerve or break up the New Day to put that push on him. I mean, they did it with Kofi, with them right there. They could do it with Big E right there.
Who turns if they did it?
I think that if they're gonna do it, they should turn Xavier and push Xavier as like a young Shawn Michaels and then maybe put like a bodyguard on him and have him be like because he's so good on the mic too.
I was just going to say that,
A
but I was going to
weasel.
say that with Kofi. I see Kofi being the guy turning me like, you know what? You guys are holding me back. Let me fly.
That would.
I don't think Kofi would want to do it.
I feel like storyline wise,
Like
that
he would
be
have wanted to do it, but if WWE made them,
that would be the most. Where you
Kofi.
have like the whole Kofi Mania thing or whatever, and
Yeah,
he could
just-
completely like, you were all a bunch of sheep.
right, and
Like
I
you
had this.
fell for it. That was all me. I didn't need them. Like I could see.
But he's been around for so long, he might be able to say, "I don't want to turn heel." And they'll be like, "All right, we won't make it."
Has
heel."
he? He's been heel though, right? I mean, he was heel. He's been heel before.
Not since Kofi became Kofi.
He was like on
when he was
WWE's
SOS.
version.
I feel like he had heel tendencies. I feel back in the day.
Yeah, maybe.
Was he never?
If you got to think about it, he's a babyface.
Yeah, he's always had that image.
If he's been
'cause the only
around for
person who's
over
real-
a decade, and you got to think about it, the man's a babyface, right?
I guess. I feel like pure babyface. The only person I've ever thought of is like just modern is Cena. He's like the face of face.
But think, like, even when the New Day started out, they started out as
Great heels.
heels. But even then,
when it
did you
first
really
started,
hate
good
Kofi?
Lord.
Like, they weren't even really, they were just trying to get booed by being, like, kind of annoying.
Dude, when you watch them at 31 coming out for the first time on like a major pay-per-view like that, people didn't know what they were. They didn't understand it. And then they just started
They
rolling
were so
with it.
good with
They changed it,
hate
like,
it so
all right.
much.
And then 32.
That's when they could adapt, Toph. That's when they could change.
That's-
when they
and-
made them who they are now, their version.
And
Yeah.
that's why wrestling's cool because it's like you can literally see this act come out like preacher style. These people are shitting on
Yep,
it. And then these people turn from New Day sucks to New Day rocks. Like just these three dudes with something they came up with together. And it's like, that's
And when they came out at 32, out of that giant cereal box, out of
Looking
that
like Dragon
giant
Ball Z, right?
friggin'
Bootios
Bootios box, dude, that place went nuts.
I mean,
They went nuts like 10 minutes before.
Right, because
When you saw them bringing
the
that
box
big
coming
ass
out.
box around.
they got interviewed about and they said they had some idea about on their podcast what they were going to do or whatever. They broke it
Yeah.
out. And then Triple H was just like, well, how about you guys come out of a big box of Bootios? And they were just like, all right, yeah, we'll do that.
I remember because we knew for a couple of months leading up that we were going to go to that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you about it beforehand, and they had said, I think that idea was something about coming to the ring on a giant, like huge, like mechanical
Unicorn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something weird.
So I was looking forward to that. And I thought it was still going to be that. And then I see the box of Bootios coming out.
That was the reroute.
Right.
Have you guys ever eaten it? Did you ever buy Bootios?
Nah, what it was like?
They sold it though for a while, right?
Was it like Frosted Cheerios?
Feel like we got a box of it.
You don't remember though?
No, I felt like it tastes like Lucky Charms or
I thought-
whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. But, what's it called? As far as what else happened this past week, any of you guys watch NXT and see what happened on there? Your boy Tyler Breeze had a match with
Prince
Austin
Pretty?
Theory. Yeah, he
Prince Pretty.
got a win over Austin Theory.
I met him on Bourbon Street. He was cool.
We all met him on Bourbon
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah.
Guy was just
I was just that dick that ran up for a picture.
yeah.
You guys are like, nah, we're going to leave him alone. I'm like, fuck it. He's got 2 chicks around his arms. I'm going up.
He knew what he
Pretty.
was doing. That dude
Oh, he
didn't
knew
go
what he
into a
was doing.
single. None of them were drinking. He was just walking up and down, trying to look like he's. I mean, hey, that's the gimmick. But this guy, after WrestleMania 34, we're on Bourbon Street hanging out, and we look out, and Tyler Breeze is just walking up and down Bourbon Street, not going into a single bar, just making sure everybody sees him with pretty good looking girl on each arm.
He's my pow of the week. Tyler Breeze.
Power of the decade.
Pimp.
Of the decade.
Just because he was a pimp 2 years ago at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so what's your pals, guys? It's not just for me, it's for everybody. It's all inclusive here on the False Finish.
On the spot, I already said I was going to do this prior, and I was going to pick one from because it's something I watched this week. My pow is JBL from 2014 when watching the Royal Rumble, because I had so much fun when he got called to go into the Rumble, go over, get instantly thrown out, and then just come back to the commenters table and just completely not mentioning it. The face that he made and just continued doing commentary was so funny, and I forgot how funny it was. So JBL, cowbell, ding ding ding. He's my pow of the week.
And for any of you schmucks that are listening that go, well, that wasn't happening this week, you should know better, because on our YouTube channel, we put the rewatch of the 2014 Royal Rumble
That's the only reason.
with the man himself, Mr. Topher McCann. So you can go back and watch that on our YouTube channel. And that is why,
That's fresh in my mind.
yeah, that's why it's relived on this week's rankings. How about
And-
you, Shane?
My pal would have to be Vanguard. You know, he got a lot of heat from Jericho this week, and I just felt bad for all electronics out there because they're going through a tough time, you know, with online shopping and
He's a
everything right
piece
now.
of shit.
So just want to throw some love at Vanguard. Pow!
I love it. And he showed so much emotion in that one close up that they put of him.
The
after,
drone? I totally agree.
after Jericho called him a piece of shit, and then they just get his reaction shot for something so mechanical and emotionless to be able to show that much.
To show that.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It shows range.
Yeah,
Shows range.
Seriously.
So congratulations to all our pow. And anybody
Medal
who
will be in
wants-
the mail.
Anybody who wants to critique or criticize our pals can feel free to shout us out on Twitter, Instagram, and give your own idea of what you think that pow should be.
Yeah, make sure you type enough P's, or I
Yeah.
won't listen.
Otherwise, Veterans Affairs will get behind us and get a little mad.
Awesome. Did you see that clip yet of Inspect? I feel like you might have left the room when they did the Lion King scene with Corbin and
I did. I missed it. So
Elias?
what had happened?
they were like on the top stage, like a little like circular stage up top.
Mm-hmm.
Had Corbin attacked him and like threw him over the railing where he was then holding onto the other side of the railing, and then he pulled out his little scepter thing and ran and hit him in the head, and then they just did a cut of him falling, and then you hear the thump, and then you cut down on the ground and you see Elias laying there, and then people come rushing out like, Elias, get some people out here. But it was straight Lion King, Scar,
great.
Mufasa.
Would have been perfect if they had some random little kid come out, just go, Dad.
Long
All right,
live the king.
I'm gonna get you mad again. There's one guy that I'm never gonna give a pal to, and that's Corbin.
Don't you fucking
Yeah,
say that on this
just
show.
saying.
Ooh, good thing you guys are on opposite ends of the
Just
stage.
saying.
Don't you dare say that on this show. Baron Corbin is a fucking national treasure.
I feel like he was forced down our throats.
What?
I just don't think he has talent.
What?
Yeah.
Don't think
Sorry.
he has talent?
You want me to freak out on episode 2?
I'm dead serious.
What?
Corbin?
I'm dude. WrestleMania.
Get off the table. Get off the table.
WrestleMania 32.
What is going on?
We got too
WrestleMania
much equipment
32.
out here. Please.
Remember 32? He won the Battle Royal.
I know.
Because
I
he's
remember.
awesome.
Oh no way. There's so many other people.
He's one of the best heels in wrestling.
nah.
Name me some better besides like if you say that MJF's good,
MJF's
Jericho's good.
Jericho's good.
Who's the best heel in WWE then?
the best heel in WWE right now? Anybody but Corbin.
Nah, that's a Fugazi answer. Give
because
a real
he doesn't
answer.
know because Corbin's the best.
We're gonna put him on the hot seat. That. You know what? It's a heated seat that you're sitting on that VIP seat. Hit the temp. Hit the temp on it.
I'm gonna turn it up so high.
So you're on the hot seat now.
Come
baby.
on, I need to know this now.
Give us one heel that's better than Corbin.
Well, I mean,
Just one.
He's the definition of a heel.
The Miz
rosters.
still gets great heat.
No, get the Miz.
The Miz isn't a true heel.
The Miz is barely on TV.
I
And he
can't
has a
watch
title.
Corbin. Corbin's stale to me.
Why?
Dude, Corbin is the only true heel.
People
And if you
literally
hate him, if you hate him because you think he's sloppy in the ring or because you think he doesn't have
Little
any
bit.
mic
No,
work, that's
he's
one thing.
not.
You really think that though?
Yeah, I do.
He has the best
Remember
moveset.
when Sheamus first debuted and like he kind of rose up? A lot of people said it's because he was like Triple H's buddy. He was like handpicked.
Right.
And I just think Corbin was like handpicked by officials. All right, go ahead. You got it. He just doesn't have it for me.
I hate it.
I'm sorry.
He's so good.
What about when he gave us love on when we were down in New Orleans? Remember when we were walking around, we saw him with his entourage? I shouted out, I was like, yo, Corbin, good luck on Sunday. We kept walking.
Oh,
Once
shit, that's right. We did
Once
run
he
into him.
once he saw that we weren't going to like accost him and we walked the other way, he was like, yo, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Gave us some love back.
All right, never mind. I kind of like
Oh, so now he's
No,
not
I'm just
now he's
kidding.
not
He's
overrated. What a fair weather. Unbelievable.
King of what?
Wrestling fans these days, I'll tell you.
I have to say the King thing I didn't like because it kind of messed with one of the greatest themes in wrestling, and they added that King thing in between it. But end of days, great theme song, one of the best movesets in WWE, hands down. Like, what's going on here?
I mean, Elias has a lot of talent, and they're going to pull him down for that? Oh, God.
Oh, I like Elias, but really going to do this?
Poor
All right, I'm
Elias.
sitting back down.
I want to give
I'm
him.
done.
I had to pace around for a minute.
Oh, I give him the end of days so bad.
I really enjoyed my visit, my only visit back.
Yeah, you're really going to die today. This is the joke is over. You're dead for real.
But his only excuse of the other good heel in wrestling is The Miz.
Yeah, man. I look. I'm sorry. I love you, but you got to come with a better
Like,
justification.
if you're
than
talking
that.
2 years ago,
Corbin's good.
Honestly, I can't think of the best
Corbin
heel
is
right
good
now.
because you want to keep the TV on to see somebody else beat the shit out of him. That's what a true heel does. And WWE doesn't have anybody like that. You kind of like the bad guys. He's the only person that can make you like somebody else just for being in the ring with him. And that's freaking valuable in WWE or any wrestling promotion.
I always felt that way with Triple H, though. I don't think Corbin's got that.
I don't get how.
You're comparing him to Triple H.
No, I'm not comparing him, but like the way you just explained that, like how like you watch certain wrestlers that are able to go back on both sides, heel, face,
Right.
and they can bring you in, and like you love them when they're a face, but then when they're a heel, someone's beating the shit out of them, you're like, oh, this is great, get him, like he deserves it. Like I don't know, with Corbin, I feel like I'm looking at like paint dry.
The only thing I can give you on that is that like the 3-year feud with Roman Reigns was unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree. Because I used to feel that way too.
But besides that, I just feel like that still just made him more like. I just feel like he's so good at just getting people to hate him.
Yeah.
All right, you'll like this. You know what I do when he comes on?
What do you jerk
What?
off?
I change the channel.
That's not.
See, that's not even true because you don't even really watch it anymore. You schmuck.
The past few weeks. Yeah.
What a terrible guest. Where's Cass at? Hefe, get better. We need you back here.
He's making fun of Baron Corbin.
All right. If you don't like Corbin, say with the roster that you have, any show, any WWE show, you take one person and you make them just commit them to being a heel, and you don't worry about whether the fans are going to boo them or cheer them or anything like that. Just let them commit to just generating heat every single time that they're on, and you push them as your top heel. Who are you going to pick to do that?
You're gonna laugh again, but I'd probably go with The Miz.
The Miz?
I would. He's got that heel persona, and he's got that show now, right? Him and it's
Miz
been
and
around
Mrs.?
for a while, but when you watch that show, you're just like, he's arrogant. Like you think about all these things that he portrays on TV, like some of it's actually him.
But do you like him?
I do like him though.
That's why you
Is that the problem? Like
That's what
so
I'm
I
saying.
have to have someone.
You need to figure out, like MJF.
Yeah, I need time then. I don't know.
All right, that's fair enough. That's fair
MJF's
enough.
pretty good heel. I don't really care. Like I don't like him, but
And the thing is,
I do like him. I don't
he's
know.
becoming so good at what he's doing that people are cheering him and loving him anyway.
Right.
But I think that's because everybody,
flipping off little kids.
dude, I think
in
everybody's just,
pictures.
I think everybody's just starved of true heels like that. You don't have those anymore. Everybody's too real. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's true life, and nobody wants to commit their entire lives
right.
to just being jerks, you
Right.
know? So as close as it gets, because I remember Corbin never really liked pro wrestling. He would, or at least he didn't.
He's a football player, right?
Right. But he, at least when he got into it, he said, like, you know, this is just a paycheck for me. You know what I mean? But
Was he even good at football? Because he's not good at wrestling.
I can't do this. I can't let this happen anymore.
Questions. Sorry.
We need to get Baron on the show. We need to have Shane on the show with him.
No, please.
To answer the question that you didn't ask me, though, I'm sorry. Yeah, who's yours? Yeah, you son of a bitch.
My bad. I was thinking of.
No offense to your parents. I love your parents. But no, I really, really like Angel Garza. I'm kind of bummed that he's not going to... Wait, no, is it him or Andrade that's not going to be...
Andrade's not.
So Garza's still on the card,
I think it's
right?
Garza, and they're bringing up... Is it Theory, maybe? To do it against the Street Profits, I think. Might be
Theory,
the tag
man.
match.
For as young as he is, he's good. But, dude, Garza's so good. It wasn't last week. I think it was the week before. When, you know how he's coming to the ring now? You see him in his entrance, and he's, walking up to women getting kissed and stuff like that. I love how he's going out of his way to pick women that you know are going to kiss him. He's not going up to anybody hot.
But he can't do that now.
He get snubbed. But it was so funny because he was doing it. There was one woman, it was like a middle-aged woman that legit fawned over him. So it was like the perfect image to perpetuate that. And then as he goes around the ring, he sees an elderly woman who was getting up. And so he goes over, and this woman, she must have been in her like mid-80s or like late 80s, like struggling to get up, just to get up to give him a kiss. So he jumped the barrier and went over to her and let her kiss him. I was like, dude, that is such a small, but like
So that's how Corona started.
It's so stop.
Angel.
This was
I'm with you. If you want to talk shit on Angel, we'll do that together.
Let's go for it.
You don't like him? You're not a fan?
No, I just feel like these storylines that they try to it goes back to what you said in the beginning. These storylines that they try to progress with I don't know. I don't follow them as well. Like I remember what's her name was coming out with Andrade, and then I thought she turned on Andrade and then was with Angel, and then she's with they've all been Rey Mysterio's been
Everyone
out.
Shuffled, right.
Andrade's been hurt for a while, suspended, and then she's over with Angel, and then Andrade's back. I can't kind of keep up with what's going on with the Mexican love triangle.
Here's the storyline. It's you're 100% right because it's been convoluted, It's been fractured, but it wasn't because of bad booking. It was just because of trying to work around the injuries and Andrade's suspension.
Steroids.
That he had. But really what it comes down to is Zelina has been with Andrade this whole time. Andrade was feuding with Mysterio for months. You guys know that. That's been going on for, since beginning of the year, last year.
Is he engaged to Charlotte?
Who? They're married, aren't they?
Yeah, they might be
now.
married.
Oh, I thought
And it's just so weird
engaged.
that Zelina's married to Aleister Black. It's just always just throws me off. I'm like, that's not Aleister.
But all right, so Andrade is with Zelina. He's feuding with Mysterio, and Humberto Carrillo came out to assist Mysterio. And my boy, Angel Garza, and Carrillo, I don't know if they're in real life or just storyline, they're cousins. And Garza came out to even the odds to beat up on Carrillo. And then around that time is when Andrade went down or, was off the roster. So then it was kind of almost, to be honest, it was kind of a seamless way to bring in that kind of Latin American faction with Zelina at the helm. Cause then you just only saw Zelina and Garza, but now you have all three of them. And I think it's a great combination.
It's going to lead to the pay-per-view Mexican Warfare in August. It's just going to be one match.
But Mysterio's an all-time favorite. Garza is one of my favorites of 2020.
Did he fall off, Mysterio?
Well, no, he's been involved in this. And they had him off TV for a while.
I mean, when he first came back, they were like,
Dominic.
All right, heavyweight title picture, you're up, you're doing it. And then I feel like
he won the U.S. title, right? And then lost it, maybe?
They've been bouncing the U.S. title around these guys.
Mexican Warfare. I'm telling you, it's all going to get settled in August.
US
Mexican Warfare for the U.S. title.
What a great concept. Who came up with that?
Our main event. Every single person who speaks fluent Spanish.
I like it.
For the U.S. title.
You know what? You racists, I like it. We need it now more than ever.
Special guest referee, AOC.
Yo, I would watch that.
Ring that bell. Ring it. That's what the American people want after a pandemic.
Special guest referee, Tito Santana. Ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez.
Can we get Alberto Alejandro
I'm going to call this episode Mexican Warfare.
Savio Vega's the enforcer outside.
Yo, I'm excited for he showed up on NXT last week. I don't know if we've seen him before, but Tahuti Miles, dude's from Philly. He's a veteran. He had a match with
the wrestler?
Yeah, I liked it. He had a match with Killian Dane. Killian Dane went over, but They gave him a little bit of time to do his thing. I liked it. But I'm biased. Obviously, he's a Philly guy. He's a veteran. Like, of course I'm going to like him. But
you know what? Speaking of Philly guys, I love that Drew Gulak is finally getting his shot. Man. I love it. Because when he first came on that cruiserweight, I mean, I knew who he was before that, but when he got his exposure on the cruiserweight invitation, whatever, you just watched him. You're like, all right, he's not a crazy cruiserweight. He just has great wrestling ability. And like, I was excited because, you know, if you put him in a match against Cesaro, you put him in a match against anybody that's got like kind of like ring savvy that like William Regal had, like you're seeing an incredible match.
When he did his PowerPoint presentations all the time on 205 Live, and then people would come out and like cut it off. Like he was like, "No, I just got like a 25 slide PowerPoint presentation," right. And he'd go up and do the first one, second one, and then he'd get cut off by someone. I love that. That whole shtick was great.
And I said this to you either earlier or the other day. I like that Daniel Bryan is taking a step back with his storylines to allow Gulak to take like 150 steps forward.
Great similar styles too, man.
Yeah, I don't mind them as a tag team. And you know, Bryan's probably happy to just progress somebody else's career, be in the spotlight, and just be in the ring wrestling with people that he's friends with.
Are they going for like tag titles, those two?
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think there's gonna be a tag title match for SmackDown
because
unless they do a story, they can't.
They remind me of like the modern day British Bulldogs. Like they got this they got that ring savviness. They're smart, intelligent wrestlers. They can wrestle.
Well, and last night, I believe since Gulak won his match against Shinsuke, that allowed either he or possibly Daniel Bryan
Great match.
to have an IC. Yeah, so
Great
Daniel
matchup.
Bryan's going to have an IC title match against Sami Zayn.
DB versus SZ.
Which is another one, man. You get 2 nights. You get these it allows availability for these matches to have these one-on-one classics. I am so looking forward to the idea of Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan having a one-on-one regular no gimmick match. And hopefully, even if they get 15, 20 minutes bell to bell, like that's going to be awesome to watch.
You know that there's going to like, as soon as you say that match in the storyline, you're just like, you know, it's just going to end with shenanigans because Cesaro, Shinsuke, and Gulak being there. So it's somehow going to be a boom, boom, boom. And that's how Sammy retains, even though that'd be fun. I think the old WWE would definitely have Daniel Bryan win, but I feel like they'll do like shenanigans and Zayn retains. And they're going to stretch this out.
I think that, they can't end every match on shenanigans though. And there's going to at least
that one will.
They're giving us probably, but they're giving us so many different matches that honestly, at least I can sink my teeth into and get excited for. That at least, you know, if you throw it all against the wall, something's going to stick. And there's going to be at least 1 or 2 matches that we're going to come out of this and probably go back and rewatch over and over. I'm looking forward to it.
If it's all done Sunday night, everything's over, and Goldberg is still a champion in WWE, I think it's fucking stupid. Even if you have a chance to rewrite this and Goldberg still comes out of it a champion, you have to have him on crowdless TV still as the champion. How fucking boring is that?
I totally agree. And I never thought I'd say that because I love them. I love him as a superstar. But yeah, you're right, Toph. I totally agree.
And then what their option is of having a title match, I don't see him being fucking champion at all either. It makes no sense to me. So I'm interested to see how they get themselves out of this huge...
Man, what
if you had to pick right now?
Yeah.
Let's say you were the writers. No, forget the writers. Let's just say there's a match happening for the world title. Who do you want to be the champion right now? Who should be champion in your eyes, Dami?
Which roster?
And just anybody for that title. Anybody on that in the roster, WWE right now. Anybody.
My answer's the first.
Don't you say it.
Anybody for the title right now? Toph, you got your answer, so you go first. Give me a second to think about this. Who are you saying?
Yeah, dude. I mean, the
fans don't know what you're doing.
The most popular person would putting the title on John Cena. I think right now at this point,
You would want him
right now. I mean, if you have the availability of having him doing it with like what they do with Lesnar, like go back to Lesnar years prior when they did Lesnar selectively. Like they've had him a lot this year. He's been on like mostly. I feel
he's been on like 5 this year. It's
for
the
longest. No, he's been on a lot.
Yeah,
but I feel like at that point you hop back on the Cena train for a little bit. Why not?
Interesting.
There's nobody else. I mean, it's forced.
I put it on Seth Rollins, and I put all my eggs into this cult basket that they have going on. I toe the line with calling him Jesus and making 12 apostles and all of that, but I have followers, and you have
it's not a bad idea.
Millions of different storylines that you can go down, and the only negative off the top of my head that I can think of is everybody saying, oh, well, you're just copying the Dark Order. But okay, who cares? Because if you're doing it well, you're writing it well, and people are enjoying it. Do people give a shit about DX being a knockoff of NWO?
No. Racier version.
As long as it's good, who cares? But if I had time to think about it, I could probably give you a different answer. But off of the top of my head, I would put it on Seth because there's just so much opportunity there, and he can work with anybody in the ring.
His heel persona now is such a fucking joke compared to his amazing heel persona in 2015.
With the Authority?
First
So
round.
that's why. That's the only reason when you said that, I'm just like, dude, he's not even close to Blonde Streak, turning on the Shield, J&J Security, Weasel
I miss
Laugh.
them.
He was, that was so good. Now when I see it, I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's not as good as when you were a heel the last time. Do that shtick. I think it's better.
See, if I'm booking, though, I'm always putting the title on a heel. If I'm a booker of ROH or a place like Impact, I'm putting the title on a heel maybe 10, 11 months out of the year and keeping it on them and just building that seething desire to just see somebody take it off of them. And I would put much more stock in a strong heel than I would in 3 or 4 strong baby faces. Because you can build up a baby face quickly, but a strong heel is the person that's going to keep people coming back to see anybody beat them. And Seth can be that heel if you do it properly. I just think that they've gotten too far away from their original goal and what they were trying to do with him. And now they really don't know what they have in front of them. Maybe
They just tread water with that character now.
Yeah.
The Monday Night Messiah, and they just kind of just go with it. But like, who are they grooming to be the face of the company?
I agree. I mean, like I would go with Bray Wyatt. Put it back on the Fiend. I think he should be champ.
Oh, see, I couldn't disagree more, but I know you got something to say about that. If you got
Well, it should have never. I mean, that was the thing. Like, he should have never He should have never took. At this point, you couldn't roll with what you had. He should have never took the title off of Seth then at that point. Yeah. And then you could be doing this whole shtick with Seth and having the title, and maybe doing this Fiend thing on the side, and maybe down the road they meet. But they destroy. I think the Fiend's done. I think as soon as
The character. Yeah,
dude, it's
possibly.
been damaged. I feel like Firefly Funhouse's everything has been damaged. Everything is not as enjoyable.
Because he lost
as soon as he hit 3 on Goldberg, it fucking killed it.
Yeah,
Just
I
like they
think you're
did
right.
years ago with him. They did it again. That's all.
I think that's true.
It sucks because it's such a cool character.
But if I had to pick, I would still love him to be champ.
Yeah,
because like you said,
he's
who's
the
the face?
best. He's the best thing in the company.
Who is the face? I mean, does Cena still get that recognition, even though he's in and out?
I think, you know what, man? It depends.
Who's the
They
face?
don't really have one
Seth
specific.
Rollins?
Nah, but I think, people would say Becky.
They
people
tried
would
to
say
hand it
Charlotte.
off.
People would say Kevin Owens.
They've been trying to give it to people, but no one's really just been like, Rollins had it for a while,
No one's
dude. Rollins
taken-
was super over when he beat Lesnar, and that whole he had like 2 years of being over. He was super over when we went to New Orleans, and he was super over, but he was more over in New York because people just wanted the title off of Lesnar.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, it's funny. I was watching old SNL skits that The Rock was hosting. And just to go to your point, there's nobody that you would think it's like, oh, that's the person that'll be on SNL this week. You know what I mean?
that's
They don't
kinda
have
fell
one
off.
marketable like crossover star. All of them are more
there's
on
not
the
like
other end coming back than
You know what? You just made me think of 2 things when you said that, when he was talking about being over. Like, what happened to Rusev Day?
yeah.
When Lashley came back the next night, people were like, oh my God, Lashley's back. But you want to talk about someone that's boring to me? God, I think Lashley's more boring than Corbin.
I was saying that in the Rumble thing when Rusev came, because he made his debut in the Rumble 2014,
Right,
came out as
Rusev,
Alexander
Alexander.
Rusev.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, I mentioned that, I was like, dude, we were at New Orleans waiting to get into the Superdome, and everything you
Everybody.
heard, Rusev Day. I was like, the dude was so fucking over. And I was like, later on that day, he took the pin in the match that he was in.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I was just
You
like, it
cannot
doesn't.
butcher
I
it
was like, you
anymore.
can never get too excited about something because they will just pull
it's
the
going to
rug
die.
from under
Right.
it.
It's going to die out.
So you kind of want to hide your
Excitement?
emotion, your excitement, because you don't want to expose to the world because you know that it's going to get ripped away from you. But if you keep it to yourself, maybe they won't do that.
I hate to do
That's
this.
how I am.
I hate to do this because hindsight's always 20/20. It's so easy to do this, but looking back, how cool would it have been if they found a way to have Seth beat Bray for the title at Hell in a Cell without it being so conky? Having never had the title, like if he already had the title and found a way to beat Bray in the cell to retain the title as opposed to winning it, and then had him with the character that he has now the Messiah, talking about how he's the chosen one because he was the one that was able to defeat Bray, and he has all these people coming and flocking to him. And you have him on the mic talking about how he's the chosen one because he's defeating evil and he's the light that's going to bring, light back. And all the while, the fans are booing him because he's this cocky heel. And the person chasing him for the title is this amazing character in Bray Wyatt, who is now the babyface, demon, evil Spawn. And you get the good guy is the heel and the bad guy is the babyface. And you have a strong, long burn. And you have all these people coming to his side as Bray is just attacking people backstage, in these segments. And
because that's the
thing.
thing.
I'm going to go a step further real quick. I think you could bring back one of Shawn Michaels' partners from a few years ago. God.
Did you see?
Huh?
So shout out.
How about that, Faithers?
Shout out Kayfabe News. They posted a great thing. I think I sent it to you where, it was a fake, an onion-like news article where it says God gets revenge for a 2006 loss to Vince McMahon by, instituting coronavirus.
You want to have your show this year? Not on my watch.
Yeah. Kayfabe News on Twitter is amazing. That and Vince McMahon Googling.
Vince McMahon Googling is the funniest thing. All right, I think maybe we should start getting ready to wrap this up, but we should probably, what are we doing next week for Mania? Did we decide definitive what we're going to do?
We could say it right now. I would love to have something that we could put out as far as a preview show if we record it after SmackDown Friday night, maybe put it out Saturday morning, and then at some point after WrestleMania, maybe do a wrap-up show, put that out early in the week if that's possible, if we have the time and the energy for it after a 36-hour WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to basics and we'll hit you with our regular weekly show next Saturday. Or, I'm sorry, not next Saturday, the Saturday after. So we're going to have a lot of content this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff.
We might get another late-night watch-along with the man, Topher McCann.
Might happen.
The man McCann.
I don't know.
Is that a Jared Schaefer foot?
Notes on notes.
Is that the Notes on Notes, bro?
Notes on Notes guy.
Notes on notes. Mention notes on notes. Notes on notes.
Should I tell him?
That's my show.
Should I tell him about T-shirts? Yeah, get T-shirts and T-shirts and college girls. That's what you get if you listen to Notes on Notes.
Oof.
Which we'll just hop into right now. We're gonna. The other show we do here on the BROcast Network is Notes on Notes. We've done wrestling material. We've done Hulk Hogan's album, which was our debut album that we ever did. The first episode of Notes on Notes, Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band. So you can go check that out. We've done, Dom, you were on with Jericho. We did Fozzy.
Did Fozzy. Also got to do John Cena with you.
We were there for 75% of that.
Yeah.
And then Dommy Dreamer came in for the last 25%. We've done Macho Man Randy Savage with our buddy Mike Butler.
You've done Hulk Hogan.
There's one more. I feel like I'm missing one. Wrestler. Cena, Savage. Cena, Savage, Fozzy,
Hogan, and Jericho.
Yeah, I think I nailed them all then.
Oh, the Celebrity Hall of Famer, the Star Trek guy.
Shatner?
Yeah, William Shatner. You did him.
We've not done William Shatner yet.
You didn't do William Shatner
Not yet.
But you know what?
His spoken word album.
Do we have to?
It's.
Why am I asking? I'm not on.
It's in the mix. It's in the mix.
I haven't been offered a contract for Notes on Notes.
Notes on Notes extension.
I was
Apparently it's
dead
still in the mail.
for that whole season.
It happens. So check out. You can check out all things Notes on Notes. We got the Twitter handle at Notes on Notes Bro. You can check out the BROcast main Twitter handle at BROcast Podcast. We're on Instagram at the BROcast Podcast. I believe we have a TikTok. I haven't done anything on that yet. I have no idea what's going on with that.
You guys got a TikTok?
Yeah, but I haven't done anything yet.
Damn.
And I'm off social media, but once again, you can find me at pornhub.com/tickle-me-softly.
That's tickle me softly. We have to promote the website too. All episodes of this show and Notes on Notes can be found at thebrocastpodcast.com and also on all podcast providers. And at some point, we've already said inevitably on bodyslam.net under podcasts. You'll find us there. We'll probably debut around episode 5, maybe. That's my guesstimate, my over/under. We might be there.
Shout out to the Hefe.
Shout out to the Hefe.
Slow but steady. You come back strong and steady for us, baby.
But we'll be there for you. And then the YouTube channel. Check that out. False Finish. We have the episodes will be posted there along with random watch-alongs and future content. Papa Shango, what do you got going on? You going to be coming back for some more?
Whenever I'm invited and I come out of my coffin, I will be there.
My coffin. Dommy Dreamer, did we nail everything for this week? Is there anything else we need to...
You know what? I feel bad that we didn't give any time to Ciampa and Gargano. We could follow up on it on the preview show. I know they're not going to be scheduled for a WrestleMania match, but I've been loving everything they've been doing to highlight that feud over the past few weeks with these empty arena shows, and that's one feud that to me just should never end. I don't care. They can just wrestle forever as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they got that feel when you watch their matches. I agree.
Any final thoughts for you, Shane?
No, I'm excited for August.
I'm going to have to disagree with you both. I'm going to have to say that you guys, I don't agree with your political views, and I think you're both pieces of shit. And Shane, this is for you. We're going to go out on.
Wait a minute.
This is what we're going to go out on because you are such a piece of shit. God damn it.
I know this music. When I hear this, I change the channel. That's right.
All right, we're getting out of here. False finish. Our second kick out. Dommy Dreamer. Dom Mallon, he's here.
Mother truckers.
Papa Shane Go. Shane Doc.
Great being back. Love y'all.
Tofi Kingston. Baron, I love you.
BROcast.